said she coming with friends. She said she coming with friends. She said she bringing her friends. Tonight we gon' get it in. She said she bringing her friends.
Yeah.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
All right. There's a strange phenomenon that I'm finding funny, and it, this is not going to be a super intellectual thing. I just, got questions, and I don't want to research this kind of thing. Some things I'm not just finna research. I just got questions. Who knows what's going on, huh? I just be stumbling upon things that make me want to do deep meditations on them and stuff. So, first, I want to talk about glizzies. Pause, right? Because that's what this whole thing is about. This pause, gay, erotic culture that the black part of the culture has really dived deep into. It's kind of like taking the whole "that's what she said" thing, but making it about gayness, and just like where you can't say anything without someone's, "Oh, that sounds like you gay." Like, let me give an example. If someone says, "Yeah, if I see dude, I'm gonna go in hard on him," and then someone's gonna say "pause," or "ayo," right? Because it means the way you said it made it sound like you want to have sex with this person, and this person could be someone that stole a bunch of money from you and did something bad to you. You want to beat them up or, expose them. It's not like in some kind of way, but the way you phrased it was like, "Oh, when I see dude, I'm gonna go in on him super hard." It's like, that's what you would do if you were a gay man. Like, you would go inside of him while your dick is super hard. So it forces people to imagine man-on-man sex. Like, it forces that. Like, saying pause, right, forces you to imagine that. So when people say pause, it forces you to imagine the thing that you're pausing about. You see what I'm saying? So what, especially if you didn't even catch it, if nobody catches it too. Like, it's different if everybody in the room catches it, like, "Oh, pause." But there's always that person that goes the extra length to be the first one to catch the pause-worthy statement. You know what I mean? Like, and no one caught it. Like that phrase I just said about, "If I see dude, I'm gonna go in on him hard." Like, then I'm gonna continue to talk, but the guy's gonna stop the conversation. No, pause. Let's pause the conversation, because that can be misinterpreted. But to who? Because everybody else in the room moved on. We know what he's talking about. We don't have to bring up the sexual innuendo, because that forces us to imagine that and visualize that in our brains. So why would we want to do that? But so I'm just questioning the whole pause culture, and I'm trying to figure out why hasn't that been canceled, right? Like, we can't call people the R word or the F word or the C word, or we can't even say what was the cause of the global pandemic that happened. Like, there's certain words that we can't say that have been canceled out, but we can still go around talking about, "Oh, pause, you sound gay." Like, and to me, like, it's the same dudes that I'm seeing wearing pants that kind of show their figure, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're showing your figure like a woman would. You're peacocking around like a woman would. I don't care if you got a Glock in them jeans. I don't care if you got 100 bands in your jean pockets. You're showing your figure. I don't like from the research I've done, a lot of killers have, portrayed in some gay stuff. A lot of real killers that done time, killers that, because it's like, yeah, like, to me, the killing is the ultimate crime against nature. I think killing another human being that's not trying to kill you is really one of the ultimate, besides being gay, right? But like, so it's like, if you done already done that, you what else are you willing to do? Yeah, you willing to enter a man's anus, like, because you willing to end a man's life, especially like with my bare hands. Someone has said that to me before. A former so-called best friend of mine told me he would murder me with his bare hands. Then why didn't you murder poverty, nigga? Why you poor? Like, that's what I'm saying. So just because someone will kill somebody doesn't mean we have to give them all this reverence. Like, oh, but he wearing a dress, but there's an AK under the dress. Like, come on, that don't mean that he's still wearing a dress. Like, you know what I'm saying? If a woman was killing people, we still have to understand that she's a woman and she has a vagina. Like, it doesn't take away from the fact, like, you know what I mean? If you're acting, I don't like, it's like, well, I'm gonna overcompensate on the masculinity since I'm doing something feminine. It's like, so when you're getting fucked by another man, as a man, you're pulling out the blicky and killing people too as you're getting fucked. No, so we don't need to be blurring these lines of like, but he'll kill her and pause. And so, okay, so let's talk about that. Let's have deeper conversations about that. That's what I wanted this podcast to be about, learning and having deeper conversations than just running through the news and running through sports stats and, oh man that hot dog I ate was, man, they had all the toppings, it was fire. Where was that at? Where's that restaurant at? Like, but nobody wants to do that because they know there's nothing deeper to them but that. So speaking of hot dogs, right, like this year, a few years ago, I heard Vic Mensa say something about a shy glizzy, like, and the way the stuff he was saying before that meant that it was a double entendre, because there's a rapper named Shy Glizzy that got his chain snatched and all that, but I guess that's the new term for hot dogs or something, and I guess there's this sexual undertone to it because of the shape of the hot dog, and but I don't know if glizzy can mean Glock. Right, so the Glock and the stick, and we carrying the dicks, and we would like. But around the 4th of July, right? I saw a post. It was like, yeah, happy 4th of July. Eat plenty of glizzies, and it's just like, what the fuck going on? Like, what the fuck? So what is a glizzy? Like, why is we calling things glizzies now? Like, what the fuck? Like, it just sounds. Like, a lot of the talk, a lot of the vibe in black culture just feels like drag queenish, not but drag queenish, right? It just feels like that, hey, yes, bitch, that kind of vibe is starting to feel like that in men. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he got the glizzy in his mouth, like that, like. I don't know what's going on because I've never had a Facebook, so I've been I've missed out on that indoctrination, so I'm kind of like, I ain't took the vaccine or nothing like that. I don't be falling for the okie doke of everything, like, you know what I mean? I can point out several of these and I can show where, hey, that's not right. So, but no one wants to have those conversations because they fall for the bait, hook, line, and sinker. I don't care what you say. Like, motherfuckers be like, not me, but okay, who you hanging out with? Who's in your echo chamber? Are you hanging out with people that fall for it? So then that's your echo chamber. Like, you're not too far from that because you wouldn't be allowed in that. You will be ostracized from that. So you're not too far from that. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know like what's going on in the black culture. That's why I'm glad I've kind of been alternative culture and became more universal with what I consume and more about edification of self and reaching higher understandings of this existence anyway. So like that's what I'm into, that's what I'm about, that's what I be doing. And so if anybody can help me explain this whole glizzy thing, because I'm not finna look it up, man. I'm not finna have that in my algorithm floating around. I ain't finna have glizzies floating around in my algorithm. Pause.
production.